Hi, everyone. I am Vanessa Aviles.
And I'm Crystal Courier, and we just want to thank you for checking out this webinar, sharing more about what is coaching, and we're super excited to give this information to you. So just a quick overview about what we're going to be talking about. We're going to share where Team Beachbody actually came from, why the idea was born in the first place. We're going to share our own stories and kind of where we came from to why we're here now and why we're so passionate about coaching and what we do. We're also going to go over who we're not as coaches versus who we really are. We're going to talk a little bit about our whys behind coaching and why we're so obsessed with it. And then we'll also go over what it can do for you, how it works, and go over some common misconceptions, and then give you our final thoughts. So we really want to give you this information just to empower you to make the right decision for if this is good for you or not. So that's really our goal, is just to share with you openly about coaching, what it is, what it's done for us, so you can make your own decision. Because I'm sure there's many reasons about why you're interested in coaching, and this will actually give you the power to make a decision. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the backstory of Beachbody. You're probably wondering where coaching even came about. And it was way back in the day when some of our first programs were released. So I'm sure you've heard about P90X. That's one of our most popular programs. And what happened was when the program was released and people were buying it because they were super excited, they weren't actually finishing the program. So you'll see this middle visual on our slide here is message boards on teambeachbody.com, and customers were getting connected with each other who had our programs, and they were helping each other to actually complete them. So it was real people helping real people, and that's where coaching came from, with these message boards. When Beachbody saw that other people just like you and me were really helping other people complete the programs and get the results they've been looking for. And as you can see, the founders of Beachbody right here, those two guys, actually do our programs ourselves. So they're not just talking about it, they're walking the talk and being proof that our programs are freaking killer and give killer results. All right, so next, I think Vanessa's going to share her story.
Yeah, so thanks, Crystal. So just like the founders had their transformation stories, it's so important for us coaches to live by example and have our own. So we both wanted to take a little bit of time to share a little bit more about our own unique journeys, because although Beachbody brought us together, we actually have different journeys, and we wanted to share how everyone's own story is very unique and how this can be customizable to you and your uniqueness. And I know Crystal's going to talk about that a little bit more later. But for now, this is me. As you can see here in this photo, I went from really gaining some weight, especially for my frame, at college and after college. And then, as you can see there in that blue sports bra, I was like, okay, enough is enough. I need to start getting healthy. But along the way, I did get a little too skinny. And after that, I really wanted to focus on strength and building muscle and feeling strong inside out. And so, during college years, I, worked for a very popular Italian restaurant. So between that and having a healthy, pretty life, I really racked on the weight. And also at the time, I realized, or shortly after college, I realized that I also had OCD. So I encourage everyone to just look that up. It's a little bit different than what Hollywood likes to portray it as, but it really is this different type of anxiety disorder, and it can be really challenging in your day-to-day life. And I found myself really coping or self-medicating with cigarettes and alcohol, and I was on my way to just not living the life that I knew I wanted to live. And it kind of went against who I felt like I was at the core. So over time, I still did really well with my corporate career, and I was really focusing on climbing that corporate ladder, but I just felt like something was missing. And, I went from gym to gym to gym. And I swear, like every time I got a new key, that keychain or that key card, I was like, yes, this is going to be the gym that's going to save me. And I would just get excited for about a month, and that would fizzle out because I just didn't have the money for a personal trainer. And, I just went through the motions, and until I got Turbo Jam and I worked out in my living room, it was my gateway to fitness. That was my soulmate workout, guys. You need to find that. So important, because that's what helped me fall in love with fitness. It was fun. It gave me results. It taught me about proper form, and the nutrition guide that came with it. It taught me more about that. And it was fun. And that allowed me to start gaining the daily habits and the interest to venture out into more things. I think a lot of times we look at the people who do the tuck jumps and the push-ups, we're like, ugh, I ain't going to do that. But you're not probably going to want to start off that way, just like I didn't. And eventually now I am a tuck jump push-up girl, but I still love my Turbo Jam. So anyway, long story short, I could sit here, this whole webinar could be about this, but I'm just really passionate about really focusing on the inner change, because that is what really helps the outer change. And I love empowering women, whether it's to get healthy, whether it's to start their own at-home virtual business, because I just wasn't fulfilled at my job. I enjoyed what I did. I was good at what I did. I did receive promotion after promotion, but I felt like something was missing. And this kind of fell into my lap, and I looked at it very carefully before I made the decision. And now not only do I get to align myself with wonderful women on their path to health and fitness, but also to help create this amazing legacy, to do something bigger than themselves, to work from home, and to make a difference in others' lives. And although I've taken many, many detours to get to where I'm at, it's my unique story. And I'm so excited and proud that I went from corporate party girl to now a boss fit girl working from home and empowering other women to do the same.
Yes, I love that, Vanessa. And you have such an inspiring story. So thanks for sharing with us. I'll share a little bit about mine too, and I have to take you way back. So when I was growing up, I was a chubbier kid and I was made fun of for it. So I didn't really feel confident. I was very insecure. I was super shy because I was made fun of, but also because I was the youngest in my family, and not just my direct family, because I have an older brother, but I was the youngest in my bigger family. So I was the youngest cousin and everything like that. So I just felt shy and insecure from both of those things. And finally, I got into about 8th grade, and I started just working out in my living room and my bedroom, and I started getting results, and I felt way better, and my confidence was building. And then I got into high school. And for whatever reason, call it social pressures or just me, you just don't know. But I fell into an eating disorder, and that went on through the rest of high school and into college. And when I was in college, I was studying health and fitness. So I was a part of the environment. I was learning about it. And you could say that's when I saw the light, and when I finally acknowledged that the way I was eating wasn't fueling me, and it was not enough calories to sustain me or to be truly healthy. So I decided then to get healthy for real. But those types of things don't happen overnight. It took me probably a few years to actually recover from my eating disorder. And then in the beginning, I also fell into an exercise addiction. So to recover from both of those, it took me a few years. And honestly, it wasn't until I found this coaching community where I was able to get truly healthy, because I now had a support system around me. And sort of like Vanessa was saying about like when coaching falls into your lap, I feel like there are no mistakes in life. I feel like things cross your path for a reason. And coaching came into my life when I was feeling lost, and when I didn't feel like I had a purpose. I was at a job I didn't love, that didn't make me jump out of bed in the morning. So beyond coaching actually allowing me to get truly healthy and the most fit I've ever been, it also helped me find a purpose and build a business that I'm beyond passionate about, and that really allows me to help women out there who are struggling just like I was. So that's my story. Like Vanessa said, we could probably talk forever about our own stories, but we'll save you the details.
Love you, girl. I always love hearing your story. You're freaking amazing.
Oh, thank you. And Vanessa and I didn't even know each other before coaching, which is pretty awesome. Like, we met through coaching.
And it was not only really cool, I mean, we're on the same larger team, but we had only, interacted in our private online groups, and we personally met this year in person. Isn't that pretty cool? And then now we're freaking like business partners, and we just vibe, and it was totally meant to be. So
yes, it's awesome. So you can look forward to that too. If you join our tribe of coaches, you can look forward to making some new soul sisters and to having a community around you. So
yep.
All right, so let's talk about who we're not as coaches before we jump into who we really are. So we're not a get rich or fit quick gimmick. Our programs work, and coaching really does work and can reward you in just endless ways. Whatever you want, coaching can allow you it. You can really design your own life with it, but none of that comes without you putting in the work. So that's what we mean when it's not an overnight thing. Like, you have to actually put in the effort to, our workout programs if you want to see results. And it's the same way when it comes to your coaching business. So as coaches, we're not fitness experts. You would be lucky to join our team because although Vanessa and I do have a background in health and fitness, we get to help you with any questions you would have in that area as you learn to coach people. But it's not a requirement to be a fitness expert. Many, many coaches on our team have no background in health and fitness, and they've just learned as they've gone, and they've just shared their own fitness journey. And that's really what it's about. It's not about being the know-it-all when it comes to health and fitness. It's more about being real and sharing your journey and inspiring people as you go. We're not a cookie cutter box either. So you can do whatever you want with your coaching business. And I'll talk more about this later, but you're able to create a unique brand that really makes you happy and that gets you excited to work your business. So there's no strict rules about how you run your business or what your business looks like. In fact, if you follow Vanessa and I, like a lot of the stuff we do on social media, it probably looks different just because we have different things that we like to do and different ways to express ourselves. So I just wanted to point that out. Cold callers and sleazy salespeople, we don't want it. So if you're into sales or like you want to sell, you can leave right now because that's not what we do as coaches. We're really here to help people and inspire people. And like I said, share our journey. So it's not about being salesy. If we had to be salesy, I would be the worst at this. Trust me. So I just wanted to point that out, that that's not what we are. So now let's talk about who we really are. Okay. So these are some of our awesome coaches on our tribe. And as you can see, there's tons of different backgrounds here. We have stay-at-home moms, we have grocery store managers, we have teachers, we have people who are from corporate, we have people who also own other businesses. So there's no one size fits all when it comes to coaching. So I hope you're not thinking, oh, well, I don't look like Vanessa or I don't do what Crystal does. I hope you're not dismissing this opportunity because of that. Because as you can see, we are all so different, but we come together because we want to help people. And that's really what it's all about. As coaches, we are encouragers, and that's really the word that I think describes us best. We're here to share our journey authentically and encourage others to start their own journey. And when we're able to share our journey like that openly and authentically, we give those other people out there courage to do the same. So that's truly what we are as coaches. Okay, so a little bit about why we're obsessed with coaching. Obviously, the personal accountability when it comes to your own health and fitness is awesome. I know I've never been this fit, and I probably wouldn't be if it wasn't for coaching, because it's giving me that extra layer of accountability to really take my fitness and health to the next level. Freedom, both financially and time freedom, and just more choices in life is a huge one. This is a huge motivator for people who want to build their coaching business, because let's be real, guys, time is not an infinite thing. time is just getting less and less every day. And so if you don't own your own time, if you're working for someone else who's dictating your schedule for you, like that's not really time freedom. You know, you don't want to live your life just for the weekends. You want to live it for every single day. This was a huge motivator for me personally, just because in the past before coaching, I missed out on so many birthdays, so many holidays, just so many family things. And it was because I had to work. And so that really for me was time freedom was everything. And, you know, working from home, it doesn't get any better than that. And don't feel like working from home means like you're stuck inside all the time. Like if you have a business that's portable, you can take it anywhere. You can go to the beach for the day. You can go to the coffee shop for the day, you know, complete freedom, whatever that means for you, whatever makes you happy is what coaching allows. We already talked a little bit about the community, but quality friendships with like-minded people is huge when it comes to coaching. I know that this part was truly life-changing for me. Most of those girls in that photo there, I didn't even know before coaching. So it's really cool that it allowed us to connect. Opportunities to travel and experience events. Every year as coaches, we have the opportunity to win a free trip just through helping people. So that's something exciting to look forward to when you do join our tribe. Being a part of this tribe, of course, is a huge part of coaching. We're always there for one another to cheer each other on and help each other along the way. A constant support of connection and inspiration. And like I said before, you get to build your own unique brand, which is around you. You know, you get to build a you brand that makes you happy, that allows you to be authentic and the true you every single day. That's freaking awesome. Build residual income. I think this is a big one for a lot of people when they're building their coaching business, because other jobs have caps on how much you can make, right? And if you want to make more, you typically have to exchange your time for more income. Whereas with coaching, it's not that type of setup. You get to make money while you sleep. And as your business grows, you make more and more money, and it's not exchanging time for money. You just make more money as you build. So those are some of the reasons why we're so obsessed.
Super.
Okay, so some people like to compare coaching with franchises. So these visuals are here to help you. I won't go over every single detail, but sometimes it helps people wrap their head around like what coaching is. And we'll talk about the similarities with franchises and differences that coaching has. So with both of them, obviously you make an investment, and in return you have an awesome business, right? And who doesn't want to be their own boss? So the only thing with franchises is it's super expensive to get in on a franchise and own your own business. You have to mortgage your house for it. Whereas with coaching, you could literally start today for $40. Or if you wanted to upgrade and have that $40 waived and get a workout program with your sign up plus Shakeology, it would just be $140 to $205 depending on what you wanted to get started with. So obviously huge difference there when it just comes down to the investment. With the franchise, you have a lot of skin in the game because you invested a lot. Whereas with coaching, not as much skin in the game. So I feel like obviously if you were to invest in a franchise, you would take it very, very seriously. So although sometimes I wish coaching might be a little bit more to invest in, just because you would take it more seriously. So I feel like if you sign up with us, I just want you to know, like, don't treat it like a hobby. Treat it like the multi-million-dollar business that it truly is. Okay, so with both franchises and coaching, you are joining an established brand, which is awesome because you don't have to go out there and do any marketing or get the name out for any products or anything like that. People already know the name. People know what it is. When you say P90X, people know what that is. When people hear Insanity, they know what that is, or 21 Day Fix or Shakeology. People instantly have a connection in their head and have heard it before. So that's really, really awesome about coaching. And I'll just give you a little backstory and another example. Before I became a Beachbody coach, I was doing my one-on-one health coaching practice. And let me tell you, y'all, like, it was so hard to build a business that doesn't have an established brand from the ground up. Like, it was so much work. And I wish I had known about Beachbody coaching earlier, because I probably would have just gone that route and saved the hassle of like trying to make my own programs and get the name out there and be the marketer. Like I had to be everything when I was doing my one-on-one health coaching. Whereas now it's like, I just get to be the authentic me and share my journey as opposed to doing all that other stuff, right? So that's another reason why I'm super passionate about coaching and why I love sharing it. Okay, so there are lots of guidelines and rules when it comes to franchises, because people who are higher up in the franchise, they actually dictate how you run the business. And your success is based off of your own efforts and those you hire to work for you. Whereas with coaching, like I said, you get to create a brand specifically to who you want to work with and specifically to who you are. So you get to get creative with it. You get to put your own hobbies, interests, and passions into your business, which gets me super excited if you haven't noticed. And your success with coaching is linked not only to your own efforts, but the success of your team. So I wanted to point that out, that we work as a team, and all of those efforts put together build your business, which is really exciting. Okay, so this is a little picture about how coaching works. So it all starts with one person. It starts with you, right? My business started with me. Vanessa's business started with her. And then as you share your journey, you're going to inspire just a few people here. That's how it starts. You just inspire that first person. And then they're going to start their journey, and they're going to inspire just a few other people. And that's how it starts. That's how it goes from you to 1,000 people below you who you have made an impact in their lives. Like, how amazing is that, knowing that really just your own efforts created this trickle effect of helping thousands of people? Like, that is crazy. And I hope that gets you as excited as I am. I know what you're thinking, because I feel like this is something that a lot of people think when it comes to coaching, or maybe they've heard of other MLMs, and that is, well, it looks like a pyramid. Is it this pyramid scheme thing? First of all, heck no, but Vanessa's going to share more about that right now.
Thank you, Crystal. Oh my gosh, you did such an amazing job. So yeah, this is the part, actually for me, this is the fun part, because I love to dispel what a lot of people's preconceived notions are about this profession. And I feel like I've been called to educate people on this, because I know I had a lot of questions. And, you know, before becoming a group fitness trainer, I, worked corporate America, like I mentioned before. And when this fell into my lap, and just like what Crystal said, I am also a firm believer that things do happen for a reason. I really looked into this on so many different levels, and having worked for an agency that worked with a lot of companies, and then remember that Italian restaurant? Well, I was with them for many years as well, and I knew the ins and the outs of how that business worked. And you know what? It's very similar to a franchise, but just like a franchise, and just like a lot of businesses, they have a very similar structure when you strip them down. And so I know it does look like a pyramid. And if you're feeling like, ugh, because either you heard stories from someone, or you just have this idea because, I don't know, I think we all had it. Let's just look at two very, very common structures, because I really want to compare them. You have the two biggest infrastructures in the U.S., okay, or in the world. You got your corporation, or your franchise, whatever, you have that to the right, and then you have the military to the left. I don't even think we consider the military. It is a business, so to speak. And I guarantee you, at the top of both of those, whether it's the CEO or the commander-in-chief, they are making way, 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 way more money than the employees or the enlisted. And, and you can, like I said, you can look at this structure, the same for franchises, or even the church. I know I'm saying it, I'm throwing it out there. but it's true. And the CEO is at the top, and he's making more money than the managers, and the managers are making more money than supervisors, and the employees are making the least out of all of them. But I guarantee you that, our coaching is entirely different ballgame. Each coach has an equal opportunity and is able to pass those above them financially with success. Now, I'm going to throw that out there, obviously, with hard work and with consistency, right? It's not like you're going to just enroll with that $40, just like what Crystal said, and everything's going to just magically happen. You have to work really, really hard. But just like someone who invested that, $500,000 into a franchise has to work really, really hard too. And they had to work really, really hard to have that money in the first place. Right. But I want to pause right here. And because I do come from a corporate background, let's talk about a sales department, right? Because a lot of people can't necessarily even understand exactly how, corporations work, but sales departments, right? You have your director of sales. They generally have a base salary, and they also get commission on how their team performs. Okay. Then so they're not getting a cut of what their team is earning. They're just getting a bonus check because they've mentored their team. And so corporate gives them a check. All right. Franchises, kind of the same thing. You have your area manager. They generally have a base salary. And then depending on how each of the stores that they oversee perform, they also get a bonus check. And let me tell you, the sales director and that area manager or that joint venture partner, whatever you want to label them, depending on the structure, they are depending more on the bonus checks than they are depending on their fixed salary, because that's where they earn the most money. It's kind of the same idea here with coaching. You have your base salary with your commissions, and then you get your bonus checks on how your team performs. No different than this, sales managers, the franchisee, area managers, and so forth. And, the person, and what I love about this business is that the person, just because I'm above, quote unquote, someone, doesn't mean that I will necessarily earn the most money. The person above me could be earning way less than what I earn, and the same person with the person above her. And that to me is an amazing thought in how this can really build into something amazing and residual. So there's no such thing like, oh, it's too late. The person at the top are making more money. That is not the case at all. So I hope I kind of drove that home a little bit, and I kind of educated you if you had a lot of question marks there, because your success is really based off of the numbers of lives that you impact and you change. All right. I think I drove that home enough, but it was very important to me. And as you can see here, the key to success in coaching is a combination of, fitness and nutrition coupled with that support, like Crystal really was talking about, the accountability and that love that you get from, our team of coaches and our tribe is what really helps the fitness and the nutrition components really work together well. As coaches, we work together in the mission to help people live healthier and more fulfilling lives. And like I said, we support each other. And like what Krista said, we cheer each other on. And that's how we get the best results. So I know, do you have a question of like, oh my gosh, do I have to sell stuff? This is a common question people have when they are thinking about coaching. So I want to just flat out say, absolutely not. It's not, remember, we're not here about sleazy salespeople or, creepy cold calling. We don't want salespeople on our team. We want life changers. As coaches, we simply share what we are doing. We offer support and connect people with the solutions that help them accomplish their own personal goals. As you can see here, these are the top 10 resolutions for the new year that the majority of people have. And as a coach, whether we're helping someone on their fitness journey or we're helping someone on our team build an amazing business, we have solutions for these top 10 resolutions. And so through sharing our stories and through being authentic, and we share and we do not sell. Okay, so worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, what if no one wants to join you, but you get in and you just invest in yourself. You spend that initial $40, you focus on yourself, and you get an amazing shape. And all of a sudden, people are asking you, like, what are you doing? Like, what is this thing? Like, you're walking differently. Like, you have this light about you, because not only are you getting in good shape, but you're surrounding yourself, you're plugging in with these inspiring friends on our teams. And you start diving into personal development, and you're facing your fears, and you're getting stronger inside and out, and you are becoming the best you possible. And that is what this is all about. It starts with you, and then it becomes this amazing ripple effect into helping a friend, helping a family member, and then helping a stranger along the way. And so that could very well be just a very good starting point. So, and not only that, but you can also make an income while you're making that impact. So I just kind of wanted to take some time here to kind of break out different ways that you can earn income. There are like 8 to 10 different ways, but I like to put them in 4 different buckets just because it's a little easier to understand. So this is going to kind of help you connect the dots when it came to that whole like pyramid scheme visual. And when I spoke about, commissions and gave that example. So as you can see here, bucket 1 are your straight commissions. So you earn 25% commissions on physical products. And so like a fitness program, Shakeology, and our other amazing supplement line that is actually, we've partnered with Ironman, if you did not know that, which is really, really cool. And then you also can earn 50% commissions on club membership subscriptions, which includes the streaming of our fitness programs and digital files of our nutritional plans through Beachbody on demand. So again, that is similar to that base salary. You can look at it that way. You have your straight commissions that you earn. Bucket number 2 is your fast start bonuses. So anytime someone who joins you as a coach decides to get, Shakeology or Challenge Pack, or this like super duper challenge pack, which is basically a program, Shakeology, you can earn some extra bonus checks for when that happens. And it goes anywhere from, $20 up to $100. And that can also be compounded too, depending on the type of team that you are growing. Bucket number 3 are your team bonuses. So this is similar to the example that I gave, where you have your, sales director who has a team of salespeople. Again, we're not here about selling. We're here about consulting and providing a need for a solution. But to kind of strip it down, that's a good example. Or you have your franchise area director who's overseeing all these different locations that he's overseeing. And depending on how they perform, they get bonus checks. So this is kind of how that works. You have your team cycle bonuses, you have your matching bonuses, and then your star diamond bonuses. And this is really where that residual income starts coming into play. This is because you're mentoring your team and you're getting incentivized by corporate. So again, let's say you join us, right? And you're a rock star. You keep 100% of bucket 1 and bucket 2. Me or Crystal would never touch that. But what's happening is that depending on your volume and depending on other people within our team and their volume, right? Corporate is giving us a check on how we're mentoring and training you. So that is really, really cool. And what I love about that too is that we are able to help and reach even more people by mentoring people the right way to share, not sell, consult, and provide a need for a solution. All right. Bucket number 4. This is where you can have multiple business centers. So an easy way to kind of wrap your head around that is if you can kind of consider that, like, let's say you start your coaching business and that is business center number one. And then business center number two would be a second business location. So you can kind of think of it like a brick and mortar. You have location one on Main Street, and then you have location two on, what's another street, like Columbus Drive, So you can have multiple business centers or multiple quote unquote virtual locations. So basically buckets 1 through 3 are then really, really compounded over multiple business centers. I hope that kind of clarified it. I know there's some terminology here that may be a little bit confusing, but I promise you that, once you get in it, it's easier to understand. But even without understanding all the terminology, I hope that breaking it down into these 4 different buckets help provide you a really good visual of how it works.
Yeah, and if I could just add something, like, bucket number 3, like where the residual income and the compounding really starts to happen and your checks get like really big. I feel like in terms of helping people, it's like, I can only help so many people. Like Crystal only has so many minutes in the day, and Vanessa can only help so many people in a day by herself. But when you get a tribe of people together who have a common goal of changing lives, like that's like, regardless of your income growing, although they go hand in hand, like that's where the magic happens. And that's where like we are really able to make a difference in this world, So I just want to throw that in.
Yeah. Thank you for adding on to that. And that goes back to that whole ripple effect, and that's why a lot of times when you are, a lot of times we wrap our heads around, business models that we understand a little bit more, like your brick and mortars, like your Starbuckses, or even though, Amazon is a little bit more understood, I think, than network marketing. But at the same time, they're able to, deliver more coffee, whether or not you like Starbucks. Let's just say it. They made a big change, right, into the way that people get together to drink coffee. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's, that kind of like larger ripple effect impact, except we have healthy options.
We're healthy.
We don't have your crazy calorie filled, frappuccinos.
Oh
anyway. All right. So again, this is your business, and there's different strokes for different folks, guys. This is not a cookie cutter box business like we were talking about before. And there are 4 really different kinds of coaches. You have your discount coach, who just really loves a discount, loves our products, and they are getting Shakeology on a regular, and they're really enjoying that 25% off everything that they're purchasing. And even with if you take out the fact that we save 25% off everything, you would save $32 off of Shakeology. Minus your $16 a month business fee, you're still saving about $16 a month, even if you make 0 sales. So think about it. If someone is really enjoying Shakeology and they're drinking it every single month, they're going to save every month and at the end of the year. And then especially if they're wanting to get some of the new programs that come out. And then you have the one right smack in the middle. You have your hobby coach, someone who probably has a full-time job, but they love the products and they enjoy sharing them with others. And they love, really helping people and talking about the journey. It's a little bit of extra income for them, maybe date night cash, money for gas, or a vacation, or helping to pay down a car note or the mortgage, or even like Christmas gifts. So they enjoy that little extra that they are making for sharing things that they love. And then you have the business builder. This is someone that is all in. I mean, 100% in. They want to eventually make this their full-time gig, and they want their freedom, and they want a team that's striving and doing the same. So they are not wanting to do that 9 to 5, and they are dreaming big. And that fourth coach that I mentioned, that's kind of that sort of in between coach. A lot of people end up fluctuating between these three things. And I will tell you this because it's an addicting business. You know, some people start out as a discount coach and then start going to hobby coach and then become a business builder. I've seen it where they become a discount coach and go right into business builder. You know, so it really just kind of depends on where you're at in your life, and how this can help you achieve the life that you really want to be living. So that's what I really love about it, customizable. All right. So what now? We've talked about a lot, and you know, again, there's different types of coaches. So, but what if you took the chance? What if you took the chance to get healthy and make an impact in that person in your life who's maybe also struggling with self-esteem or with health issues? What if you are the person in your family to get healthy and be that example for your mom, for your dad, for your children, and you're getting in the best shape of your life, no matter where you are? Guys, I'm healthier in my 30s than I was in my 20s. I have more energy now than I did then. You know, what if you were able to earn a little bit of extra money and, you know, help pay down that car note and feel like you're contributing a little bit more and helping people in the process, and that you feel like you're able to be that hero for someone, you know, and you're getting strong inside out. You're knocking out those fears that have been holding you back, because we are so about personal development and personal growth. Or what if you're able to come all in, right? And start and never stop and be able to leave your corporate job, just like I did, just like Crystal did, you know, pay down debt, travel when you wanted to, you know, create a legacy for your family, you know. So there's so much that you can do with this, and it really is, the sky's the limit. So if something spoke to you today, if something really connected with you, if you're vibing with our love and our tribe, you know, what we want to encourage you to do is to message the person who invited you to this. You know, let them know which kind of coach that you think you want to be. You know, again, you can start small and build, or you can come all in. You know, let them walk you through the sign up process. It's very, very simple. And if you do want to be a hobby or a business builder, make sure that you get connected with our new coach trainings that we host every single month to make sure that you get started right and you are properly mentored. And of course, part of that training is to be an apprentice for your coach's upcoming challenge group, where not only will you focus on your fitness goals no matter where you're at, but you will also get firsthand experience in how we host these challenges and help other people along their fitness goal. So of course, if you do have any questions, what we would want to help you guys do is, you know, reach out to us, but also reach out to the person who invited you. And of course, we hope that we can celebrate with you with a glass of bubbly, because why not? So I'm gonna stop this screen share right now so we can put on our faces. Yay. So did you want to add anything, Crystal?
Not really. I was just thinking about, like, when you were saying those final thoughts, just how different both our lives would be if we were never invited to coaching, and if we never learned about this opportunity. Like, we wouldn't be here today, and we wouldn't be working from home, and we wouldn't have a life that, like, we're so passionate about, and we wouldn't be able to help all the people we do every day. So I just feel like listen, if you're thinking about embarking on something new, it's normal to feel excited but scared at the same time. Like, I felt that way too, you know? But if we didn't take leap of faith, we wouldn't be here. You probably wouldn't be here. So it's just kind of like you have to go with your gut. And sometimes it's scary, but, like, it's better to try than not try at all.
Very true. And I want to add on to that, because I remember, like I said, like, I was good at my job and I liked it, but I felt like there were days that I'm like, why am I doing this? Right. And I remember, I think a lot of us can relate to this. I remember how like the days, especially like Thursday and Friday, I was like looking at my watch, like, when can I get out of here? Like, it was just like nails on a chalkboard. I was like ready to like run for my freedom out those doors.
Yeah.
And honestly, guys, when you jump out of bed and when you're excited for what you do, like, I can't believe, like, we're recording this on a Thursday.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's Thursday. I'm like, I still got things to do. And when Friday rolls around, I mean, there's always something fun about Fridays, but I never feel like, yay, I don't like, I'm free. And I feel like I still got things to do. I actually have to kind of stop myself because I love what I do so much. And it's so important to take time out for you, obviously, that you need to create boundaries within your work. Like, well, before you didn't want to do it, but now it's like you can't stop because you enjoy it so much and it gives you so much purpose. So
yeah, anyone who's listening, like, I didn't hate my job before coaching. Like, I wasn't one of those people that like hated, like dreaded Mondays, although I will say I wasn't excited about them. So I'm not like, if you're on this call,
it depended on the week for me.
if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I don't hate my job, but I don't love it either. You're like the middle road. Like, I was kind of there, but I knew there was more for me. Like, I knew I wasn't meant to just work at a desk, and I was a chiropractic assistant. So I like convinced myself I was helping people, but like, it wasn't my passion. Like, it wasn't my passion at all. So it's kind of like, it's funny how we convince ourselves that it's good enough.
True.
Our current circumstances are good enough when it's not your dream life, you know? And it's like, you have one life to live. You should, I was going to swear, you should freaking, you should love the heck out of it.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. Again, just to kind of like, I'm sorry if I'm like pounding this too much, but it really is based off of you and your unique circumstances and style. I mean, you have the gamut of different coaches, as you saw, different backgrounds, right? And so you have some coaches who hate their jobs and they feel like they have absolutely no purpose. And so this kind of helps fill that void for them. But then you have other people, like, to go off that, there's one really, really awesome coach. She was a lawyer. And so although she was good at what she did, she just didn't have her purpose. I mean, she left her, lawyers make good money, but it wasn't really connecting with her. And she felt like she wasn't having that larger purpose. But then you have other people who really genuinely love what they do. There was a coach, a top coach for 2 years, Wayne Wyatt, orthodontist with 2 practices, right? He had 2 practices?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, with a family of 5 guys. I mean, he obviously loved being an orthodontist and he's still an orthodontist if I'm not mistaken, and he still wanted to coach and he went all in and he was still loving being an orthodontist, but he also really wanted to be a coach, so he did both.
And the cool thing about that, well, that particular situation is like, because of coaching, he was able to bring his wife home to be home with the kids. So it's like, that's another thing. Maybe you're not thinking about you, but I have a coach on my team who's building her business so she can retire her mom, not necessarily her. So like, I guess what we're getting at is to reiterate that the possibilities are endless and make it fit for your own lifestyle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I hope this was informative. Even if you're still kind of, wanting to think about it or you're ready to go all in right now, we just hope that we provided the information to kind of help, clear up any clouds in the head, to help you kind of see from our perspective and our experience how amazing that this truly is.
Yeah. So thank you so much for checking this out. And like Vanessa said, reach out to one of us, or if someone else invited you to this, make sure you message them right after this. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Absolutely. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.